Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahusha, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahusha, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson will be entitled The 144,000 Men only, Lord, will you are edified. Revelation 7 and 1. And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth. The four winds of the earth is symbolic for nuclear destruction, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree, which further proves that this wind is symbolic for nuclear destruction. Verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. Verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Servants, okay? When we focus on this, according to the Greek,
Strong's G 1401, doulos, doulos.
according to the lexicon, it states, are those whose service is used by Mashiach in extending and advancing his cause among men, used of apostles, okay, of other preachers and teachers of the gospel, okay, and only men, okay, can have this role. Elected men out of the nation of Israel. And guess what, people? The apostles were all men. Salakia. Okay, so when we read from Matthew 10, from verse 1 to verse 4, all right, it supports that the disciples who later became apostles were all men. Acts 1 and 22. Beginning from the baptism of John unto that same day that he was taken up from us, must one be ordained to be witness with us of his resurrection. Now, this is talking about Yahushua, okay? Verse 23. And they appointed two, Joseph called Barsabas, who was surnamed Justus, and Mattathias. Verse 24. And they prayed and said, Thou Lord, which know the hearts of all men, show whether of these two thou hast chosen. Verse 25, that he may take part of the ministry and apostleship from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place. Verse 26, and they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Mattathias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles. As you can see, Mattathias was a man, okay, not a woman. All right. Revelation 73, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. Let's go to Ephesians 3 and 1. For this cause I, Paul, the prisoner of Yahushua Mashiach, for you Gentiles, referring to Israelite foreigners, prisoner is also synonymous with a servant. Hence, Revelation 7 and 3. Verse 2, if ye have heard of the dispensation of the grace of the Most High, which is given me to youward. Okay, let's focus on dispensation according to the Greek.
Strong's G 3622, oikonomia, oikonomia.
Which means the management of a household or of household affairs. Okay, and this assignment, okay, is created for men to do, elected men out of the nation of Israel. Okay. Proverbs 8 and 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. Ezekiel 34 and 31. And ye, my flock, the flock of my pastor, are men, and I am your power, saith the Lord, power. Okay, let's go back to Revelation, the 7th chapter, and let's begin at verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. All right, them is still talking about these servants, okay? And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Now, since we collected information regarding servants according to the Greek, okay, it only makes sense that children should be written as sons, okay? When we focus on children according to the Greek,
Strong's G 5207, Puyas, Puyas.
which means a son, also 1C, in a restricted sense, the male offspring, one born by a father and of a mother. In this case, the restricted sense will be contextually. So, Revelation 7 and 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the sons of Israel. Okay, remember, restricted sense, a limited sense, okay, regarding this context. But let's continue. According to the lexicon, this same Greek term is a representation for what? Ban in the Hebrew, which means a son, not a daughter, okay? But a son, which is what? A male offspring. You cannot get around this. You cannot get around this. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Okay. The 144,000 is a reflection of the house of David. Let's go to Amos 9 and 11. And it states, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. All right, and this is happening now, but it will be perfected once we get into the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so the tabernacle of David is nothing but a reflection of the 144,000 and vice versa. Okay, when we focus on tabernacle according to the Hebrew, Strong's H 5521, pronounced as Sabah, no, Salakia, Sakah, Salakia, Sakah. All right. And what does this mean? Okay. And Salakia. Let me pronounce this again for the record. Sakah. Okay. Now, according to this, the lexicon of the habitation of the Most High, of the habitation of the Most High, what precept comes to mind? Let's go to Revelation. #21 and verse 3. Well, let's start at verse 1, but the point is in verse 3. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. All right, so the new heaven and the new earth is referring to the kingdom of heaven or the kingdom of Yahushua. Okay, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and this is referring to Esau's kingdom. And there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High, okay, is with men. Okay. Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. Let's go back to Amos. (9 and 11). And for a tabernacle, a definition was of the habitation of the Most High. Okay. Of the habitation or the habitation of the Most High. Going back to Revelation 21 and verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power. Which further proves that the 144,000 are men only. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra 2 and 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, which I could not number, the 144,000, okay, which are men only. And they all praised the Lord with songs. Verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, referring to Yahushua, taller than all the rest. Why? Because it's his kingdom. Okay, and which further proves that Yahushua is the alpha male out of 144,000 alpha men. Okay, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly. Key point: he set crowns. So, what is a crown according to the Etimon? was a certain definition I wanted. Okay, there we go. Crown, when used as a noun, the award given to the champion. So the 144,000 men, okay, are all champions. Let's get 1 Kings 2:1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon's son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou therefore, be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. So what is man? According to the Hebrew, Strong's H 376, Ayash, which means what? Champion. Okay. Second Ezra 2:43. All right. Yahushua is giving out crowns to his champions, which comes to a grand total of 144,000. Okay, and these champions are men. These servants spoken of in Revelation 7:3 are men. Revelation 7:4, and all the tribes of the sons of Israel. Because think about it, the disciples who later became apostles were all men. And remember, Yahweh and Yahushua changes not. Or Salakia, Yahweh and Yahushua change not. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.